guys, welcome back to the James Bond Show, or welcome to it for the first time if you're joining us for the first time. It's Krazy Kajeevie, and we are gonna get Kajeevie. Alright, and this is my little main man, Scuba Duba. He'll be joining me for this edition of the James Bond Show with no fears, limits, or substitutes. Guys, this is just a bit of a quick video. I took today off work. I'm taking tomorrow off work because I got splitting migraines and I'm not too well, but I wanted to make a quick little video to talk about a rumour going around that the Daily Mail put out there about Daniel Craig apparently going to be directing Bond 26. Now, of course, we're going to take a big pinch of salt with this one. The article that I was sent by a friend in the Bond community, so I still laugh at the whole Bond community and influencer thing. Anyway, so this article said that Daniel Craig was apparently, with the guidance, or not the guidance, but with the blessing of Barbara Broccoli, going to be directing Bond 26. Like I said, pinch of salt. The article was a bit weird though. The article didn't seem to have a proper ending. Suddenly it went into a weird line about Goldfinger saying to Bond, "No, I expect you to die." So I don't know how that article was even put out, but it seems this has gotten out. So other Bond people and Bond fans have gotten onto it. So I find it quite interesting. Okay, so if it was to be true, and first of all, what I want to say here is overall, before I even go any further, is this is a subject I really genuinely want to know what you guys think. And when I say that, you'll notice compared to a lot of the other James Bond channels, I comment back. I read all of your comments. I'll comment back. I'll like. I'll give it a love heart. Whatever. You know, if I really agree with you. So I will try and read all of your comments. So I really, on this one, I want to know what you guys think. I put a poll up on the Facebook page, which I'm the admin of and page creator, the Real James Bond Fans. So if you guys haven't come and joined that, please do, but make sure to answer the questions. And I put a poll basically saying, if this rumour is true, would you want Daniel Craig to direct Bond 26? You know, hell yeah, hell no, blah, 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 stuff like that. And the overwhelming result so far, after about, I think, 48 hours, is no. People want him done. And that's not to say to rubbish on Daniel Craig or whatever. It's just people want the Craig era gone and they want a fresh start. And that is just what the people are saying. There were about 9 votes for, yeah, why not? You know, that he could do both, you know, act in the film and also direct it. So what do I think of this? This is what I think of it overall. Some people have said, look, he's never directed a film before. I'm going to give the man credit where credit's due. A, he's intelligent. B, he's been doing feature films since 1992, acting in them. And he's been around incredible filmmakers such as Steven Spielberg on Munich, of course, Sam Mendes for Road to Perdition, Skyfall, and Spectre. He's learnt recently from Kerry Fukunaga, who is a wonderful talent, even though Fukunaga's still quite young in his directing career himself. But the man has been around incredible directors, and he would have the resources, I would imagine, of a great second unit director like Alexander Witt, who they currently use on the James Bond films. So he'd have a great second unit director, you know, by his side. Also, I think he'd have a fantastic cinematographer, maybe like a Linus Sundgren, who's currently filming, who has just filmed No Time to Die as well. And he knows the character. My fear is, and I'm just being honest, this is just my opinion, guys. My fear is it would be a Phoebe Waller-Bridge written screenplay, and Daniel Craig would be directing that. That's what I would imagine. Also, my big fear is for him to direct it and know that world, that immediate world, would he then be directing Nomi 007? And of course, there's a rumour that they're taking the 007 off her character and giving her the 001 number because of the fan backlash. And to me, the fan backlash has been absolutely justified. And people, like certain people at James Bond Radio, have said, oh, it's a great story piece, and fans out there are getting their knickers in a knot. You've got to understand, we're not angry, crazy people, minus the nickname Krazy Kajeevie. We're not angry, crazy people that want to rant and go off for nothing. For James Bond Radio, Tom Sears to say that about the fans and say, oh, effing lunatics, or whatever he said about going off their effing nut, you got to understand, Tom, we love this character and we respect the character. It's what Ian Fleming created. He's been 007 all these years. So to change that up, they're not changing it, Tom, for a story, to do an interesting story. They're changing it very specifically, putting in a woman, a black woman, that looks very manly, giving her a 007 number. This is about social justice politics. That's what it is. If it was purely and cleanly on the level as just a character arc and it was interesting and it was done like that, even I would go along with that. I'll go, okay, well, let's take a look at that. But that's not the case. Or why else was a black woman in the casting call for that character? Because you can take that to the bank. I know that for a fact. They were after a black woman. Why not a white 007? An Asian 007? And in a time of Me Too and Black Lives Matters, don't you think it's a little bit ironic the casting call was for a strong black woman? So take that, as you will. But I think it's pretty obvious why this has been done. So I think it's really unfair to be dismissive of the fans that love this franchise so much and, have collections like this around them. We're not racist, we're not mean, we're not lunatics. We just love the character and we want James Bond to remain a white British agent. And I know times change and politics change and we get all that, but James Bond shouldn't. And when you change everything around him within the film, you then threaten to change that character. So back to the topic of this video, as for Daniel Craig directing, I'm not saying I'm for it. I personally don't want him to direct the film, and I want him gone after Bond 25, after No Time to Die. I think Casino Royale was brilliant, great film, and he was great in it. From Quantum of Solace onwards, we've had this Bourne rip-off. If you take Bond and M out of Quantum of Solace, you can't recognise it as a James Bond film. That's just a fact. Then his next mission, considering Quantum of Solace was a continuation of Casino Royale, and then suddenly on his next mission, Skyfall, which he was massively behind and brought Sam Mendes on, and he was all behind John Logan doing the screenplay and everything, then suddenly Bond's ready for retirement. And I think that, I haven't reviewed that film yet, so it's coming up, but in short, I think it's so overrated, and I think Bond just looks like he's sucking lemons in it all the time. And then Spectre, the reason I actually think Spectre's underrated, and I do enjoy Spectre, is because I think Daniel Craig's performance in Spectre is actually good. At least there's a bit of fun there, there's a bit of humour. And to me, he's more Bond, especially in the white tux. It's more like bringing a bit of Connery back into Bond. So I like that. But it's not what it looks like for No Time to Die. It looks like we're going to get the sucking lemons Bond, and of course Bond Emancipated, where his wife doesn't even want to take his name, and it's crazy. Surely if she's going to say, I'm Mrs. Swan, okay, Mrs. Swan, but now it's Ms. Swan? What? Again, look at the politics that are being pushed in this. So, do I think Daniel Craig is physically, mentally capable of directing a massive feature film of the size of a Bond film? Yeah, I do. I think he's an intelligent man, and I think he could do it. I don't want him to do it. I would like to see a new, fresh director, a British director. He's probably a bit old now, but Roger Michell, who directed Notting Hill, I think he's a wonderful director, and he, of course, was going to be directing, I believe it was Tomorrow Never Dies, but he pulled out way back when because of basically too much short preparation time, so he pulled out of that. But I think he would have been a great director for a Bond film. So that's kind of what I think, guys. And of course, it's just a rumour, like I said before, but I'd love to know what you guys think. Would you honestly want to see Daniel Craig direct a Bond film? And if so, would you want him to direct a Bond film where he's in? So do you think if he's going to direct Bond 26, will he be back for Bond 26? And would you want him back for Bond 26, or do you want a clean break? I personally want a clean break, a fresh start. It's probably no secret to a lot of people who my favourite candidate to be the next James Bond is. I, however, think the actual next James Bond is going to come down to two actors, and I am going to be revealing them. That is coming up. I'm going to be doing a series starting tomorrow, day by day, my countdown to who I think should never be Bond to who I think should be James Bond. So that's what's coming up, guys. And thank you so much for joining me here. And if you haven't subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. Please share this video with your friends and give it a like. It helps the program. Try to do something a little bit different here. Till next time, guys. Keep on bonding.